What's up? My name is Julian Williams, and I take Expedite. Some days I walk into the gym, and I don't necessarily feel like working. Take a scoop or two of this, be ready to go. It's the best stuff I've ever had. Expedite.
Hey, you promoted Andy Ruiz for a long time. He had this big upset over Anthony Joshua. It surprised everybody. Did it surprise you?
Surprise shocked me. I mean, I love Andy. He was always a very capable fighter. He always gave it his all. But let's face it. I mean, he had fast hands, and he could take a pretty good punch, but he couldn't knock people out. And the fact that he knocked out a guy like Joshua says a couple of things. One, Joshua wasn't prepared going into the fight. Or secondly, Joshua has absolutely no chin.
What do you think with your experience? What are you more inclined to?
I don't know. I wasn't with Joshua as he trained for the fight. I don't know how seriously he trained. Remember, it's tough for a fighter to go from one opponent to the other, in midstream while you're training. He was training for this big baby Miller who, crapped out with the drug test. And then he gets Andy Ruiz, much shorter stature and not a puncher. So maybe he trained differently. Maybe he took his foot off the pedal. Maybe, like people say, I don't know, that he suffered this knockout in training camp and therefore wasn't himself when he got in the ring. I don't know. Something was strange. I saw Joshua fight in person when he fought Joseph Parker, and I saw him on television frequently, and I never saw this kind of Joshua, so I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not going to speculate because I know as little as anybody else, except the people who were there.
Could it be, as many fans have said, that it's not all that and it's Andy's that good and Andy's really fast and Andy caught him with some good punches and that's what happened?
That's certainly the case, that Andy has fast hands and Andy caught him with good punches, but it's still Andy Ruiz who demonstrated throughout his career that he wasn't the biggest puncher in the world. But anything is possible, So if fans believe that it was Andy Ruiz's speed and cunning and going in and knocking him out, that's definitely a possibility.
The rematch is supposed to happen in November, December. Do we see the same result or do we see a different result, completely different fight?
I don't really know, but that type of first fight, when it leads to a rematch, generally ends up the same. So whether that'll be the case or not be the case, I don't know. I just don't know. But again, there's a big likelihood that the result can turn out to be the same.
What happened with you guys and Andy? Because I know he was with Top Rank for a long time. I know a lot of fans that are become new fans of Andy because of this fight are going to look into Andy and be like, oh, wait a second, he fought in China for Top Rank. He fought on all these cards for Top Rank. What happened there?
No, great guy. He took off some time when he didn't want to fight and fought. I love him. He's a great kid. I mean, we got along tremendously with him. And then there came a time where he wanted numbers that we weren't in the heavyweight division then. So we wanted him to fight Brian Jennings. And he wanted this enormous amount of money that we said we weren't prepared to pay. So I think he went and saw PBC, and they gave him money, and they paid us, and we released him from his contract, and he went and fought for them. And then he hit the lottery. I mean, look, this is not something that you figure was going to happen. Joshua was scheduled to fight Miller. Miller tests dirty, so that fight is off. Andy Ruiz fought this ham and egg guy for Heyman after we released him, and Eddie was desperately looking for an opponent, not too difficult, for Joshua to fight. And he got Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz then comes in, fights a Joshua that's not quite Joshua, and knocks him out. You know what the odds of all of that happening is? It must be like 1,000,000 to 1. So, yeah, I mean, are we sorry that we gave Ruiz the release? Probably. Would the same thing have happened if he had stayed with us? Yes. But there was 1,000,000 to 1 odds against that.
But when you saw it, were you like, fuck, why'd I let him go?
No.
No?
It's like walking past a store where somebody has gone in and you've passed by the store and somebody else gets the lottery ticket and wins $100 million. Are you sorry that you didn't go in and buy the ticket? Probably. But the chances are so much against you of hitting the lottery that, it can happen. Life is funny. So, no. When Andy won that fight, and because he won it, secured the future financial security of his family, I was very happy for him because they're nice people. You understand? This wasn't like a guy that was trying to violate a contract to get out. The parting with him was amicable. So why wouldn't I be happy that he is where he is?
And he certainly resonated with a lot of people as well with this story after he won. A lot of people have been endeared to him.
Well, they should be. He's a really nice young man. There's nothing bad to say about him, except sometimes he eats too much. But that's a problem a lot of us have.
Yeah, that's a problem that I have as well. The older I get, the worse it gets.